Have you ever been on a really bad date?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What constitutes a bad date for a girl?
The person not being tuned into you,
Not being present?
not being present. Because the whole point of a date is to get to know each other. How do you do that if you're not present?
Yeah, everyone keeps talking about charisma as a skill, being charismatic, having a good personality. I actually think it only boils down to great listening.
Yeah.
Everything else comes out of great listening.
Yes.
But we're not taught this in school and college.
You have to be a good listener. Yeah, I think you're probably right because, um, yeah,
So
we
you-
never thought the importance of listening. It's as important or even more important than talking.
Have you ever met someone or spoken to someone where you're hanging with them uh, and they're not on their phone, but you also know they're not listening to you?
Yeah, of course.
That happens?
And I feel that started happening a lot more in the recent years since doom scrolling has become a thing. Because of how it's wiring our brains, and because our brains have used to getting those hits so often, no, we've gotten rewired. And unless we don't make a conscious decision, so the moment there's nothing happening, it's like you're impatient.
You know what I get pissed off with when it comes to social media? Everything you said, but what I specifically get pissed off with is too much relationship advice on social media.
Too much everything advice.
Too much everything advice.
Too much everything advice and too much of har cheez is a red flag, yeah? Like, oh, if this person does this, it's a red flag. Sure, of course, there are red flags, green flags, whatever. But at the end of the day, every person that you'll be with will have something or the other which is not perfect.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Imperfections are okay. It's up to you to judge. But as long as it's not very problematic, no one is perfect.
I feel especially from this, exactly what you're saying, to add to what you're saying, I feel that you go through these like trials in relationships, you go through rough periods. It's the natural course of a relationship. And the algorithm picks up on the fact that you're going through a trial, and then it can sometimes amplify your own demons. It can tell you, yeah, your boyfriend is an asshole.
How to recognize if your boyfriend is an avoidant.
Yeah.
I'm like, bhai, avoidant kya hota hai?
Yeah, or vice versa. It'll tell guys that, oh, women are complex.
It's like that वो neighborhood वाली auntie जो ऐसा
Yeah.
कान भरती थी ना. Now it's social media because it's picking up on all your issues. It's
Yeah.
listening to you and it's adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
It's not sorting anything.
So to switch out of social media now, I'm going to ask you the same question but in another way. Tell me about a really great date you've been on.
Again, has to do with conversation. And you can tell a lot. You can tell from body. Conversation is not just what comes out of your mouth. It's also body language. You can tell if someone's tuned in. Someone should want to be there. Otherwise it's a shitty date to begin with.
Okay. Are you single right now?
Ooh, you're asking me questions I can't answer.
So I'll take that as a no. I'll take it as a no.
No comment.
Okay.
Good. I'm an old school romantic.
Yeah.
I love that. And I'm in today's day of an age of situation. Situationships are actually har zamane pe hote the. Now there's just a term for it.
Yeah.
That's the only difference. Ghosting also used to always happen, I'm sure. Now there's just, a lot of fancy sounding terms for
Fancy terms, fancy algorithms.
fancy algorithms. Oh God, I think we're living the lives between these two things now.
Yeah. Stability feels good, no?
I love stability because Ranveer, also the nature of my work is so unstable. Acting in movies is you could have a blockbuster hit and then life is great, and then after 6 months you could have other releases, 3 films tank, and you're in a precarious position. There is so much drama happening in work life. I like coming back to a stable environment, and my family and my loved ones are what keep me grounded. And I think I would go quite cuckoo without that.
But you're also a good listener.
I aspire to be. So it's good to hear that.
You don't think you're a good listener?
I think I am. And I'll also tell you something. It's something I constantly work on. I always work on.
Like a skill.
Because there are people, I see them, they're not really listening, they're just waiting for their turn to speak. कि अच्छा इसका खत्म हो जाए, मैं बोलूँ, पता है मुझे क्या बोलना है, मुझे क्या लगता है. But I feel it's that's basics.
I think listening is the first skill in social situations, the skill that every other skill comes out of. And then the next skill is this thing called conversational dance. It's exactly what you're saying.
I call it badminton.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And girls can do this very easily. It's why podcasts with women are way more fun.
Acha.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Unless the guy knows how to conversationally dance. And not every guy does. And that leads to very informative but usually boring podcasts.
I know what you mean. Like even, I mean, you're comparing it to your podcast guests. I would compare it to my co-actors. And I have worked with some co-actors who are like amazing conversationalists, and they're fantastic listeners.
Like who?
Like Thalapathy Vijay.
Mm.
I worked on a very special movie in my career, which was opposite Thalapathy Vijay. It was called Master. It was a turning point in my career graph because he's one of the biggest superstars in our country. And I just feel like he's one of the best listeners I've come across.
You think it's what people don't know about him? That's one of the secret sources of his mega success.
In a sense, because I feel like he's not caught up in some bubble in his head. He's realistically observing, listening. He's figuring out the pulse of the person and the people. And now he's foraying into politics, and that's what I guess you need to know the pulse of the people, obviously, even for that.
Like
So
read the room.
yeah, read the room. Read the room, just understand people better. What their wants are, what they want, what they're saying. Just listen to them, you know.
What else did you learn about him? Through observation.
I really admire that he walks his talk. No matter what he'll say. And it doesn't have to be something big. Even if he says, say if I've called him up, and if I'm like, okay, ma, I'm in the middle of something, can I call you on Tuesday at 5 p.m.? And I've randomly called him up. So he's not even had time to look at his schedule and, But if he said that, he will call on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Like he'll never back out of even things he'll say randomly, So I really admire that in a person because हम सब भूल जाते हैं यार. If I've told somebody मैं Tuesday को call करूँगी, I'll be like, oh shit, I forgot, sorry, and I'll call on a Wednesday. You know what I mean? Small thing, but in the larger scheme of things, it says a lot about a person.
Systems lead to success.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
What it is. Yeah. I think the film world is going to miss him. For at least this phase, whatever's coming up in his life.
Yeah, absolutely. It does. It feels like a personal loss that he's quitting cinema. I mean, he's doing it for his other dream, but as an audience, it feels like a personal loss.
Did he ever tell you about this other dream?
No. I mean, I worked with him a few years back, so
something's been pulled up on the screen.
Oh.
What memories of this particular photo?
I remember this was shot at a studio in Chennai, and I have the team of this film was like a family to me. So I had a lovely time working on this, and we right after the scene we shot a song, which is one of my favorite songs. Yeah.
What's the most attractive thing about the male species?
What's the most attractive thing about female species?
I can write an essay about that.
Say the first thing that comes to your mind.
First thing? Emotional regulation.
Are most women emotionally regulated?
More than guys. This whole narrative that girls mature faster than guys. I think when you're very young, it's about who's maturing faster. In your 20s and 30s, it's about higher intuition. And 40s, 50s, 60s, it's like emotional regulation. Because girls are more sorted out on an average, obviously. Exceptions everywhere. We are generalizing here. On an average, girls are just more sorted out. But this is someone who's in their 30s saying it. When I was in my 20s, I'd probably say like, girls are beautiful or something like that. The more surface level. Then you grow through life. And I think at every stage you find things to be attractive when you're craving for those things yourself.
I'm thinking what you said. What am I craving right now? Or what am I really appreciative of? But I know what you mean. Like maybe there's an emotional maturity that kicks in a little, maybe before it does for boys the same age or something like that maybe.
I think men and women are hardwired slightly differently when it comes to conversation, and guys just talk less. Because girls talk so much, they're also able to iron out a lot in their own heads.
I'm thinking about like, what do I like? Like, for instance, a lot of who I am today, the kind of woman I am today, is because of the men in my life. It's because of my father and brother. Now, for instance, my father, never once. It was never like, oh, तुम लड़की हो फिर भी हम तुम्हें ये करने दे रहे हैं. It was never like that. I don't think they looked at it through a lens of कि ये दोनों अलग genders है. It was always like the rules were same for both of us. कभी ये कहा नहीं गया था कि अच्छा you're a girl. It was never put into my head, you're a girl but we're still letting you do this and we're still letting you. No. It was like, okay, Adi can't do this, even you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to, oh, you're a certain age, now you can, Adi is still a younger age. It was always like species 1, species 2. there was no gender thing at play. And the way my father is with women, the kind of, just how he looks at women, he treats women is how I sort of started looking at the world. My sense of self and everything came from that. So I'm very glad. Like both my father and my brother are feminists, but without having to shout it out or like prove it or sort of scream it from anywhere. They both are. So I really, I mean, I don't know how to articulate that as a quality. I like men who have what I like is a man who has his own a strong sense of self in a man. And what I like, I don't know, in a very girly way, what I like about the male species is that they can be protective. Like physically, I like the strength. Like someone can take care of you. And it's beautiful when it's obviously coupled with like emotional maturity and, then it's like the male energy.